Welcome to my channel. I'm the Dark Lord of Optics, and what I bring you here is a thinking man's take on guns and optics with occasional forays into politics. Thank you for being here. Alright folks, we are taking a quick look through the Brownells MPO 1-8x24 rifle scope. To be absolutely clear, the rifle scope is mounted on a tripod. I'm not pointing guns at any of my neighbors. We are looking at the Sandia peak. We are currently on 1 power. The reticle is not illuminated. The name of the reticle is is a CQ-NOMR, close quarter non-obscuring milliradian reticle. It's skeletonized toward the center. A second focal plane scope. We're on 1 power. I'm going to start slowly dialing up. 1.5. I press on the scope so it goes a little bit out of focus. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Despite the fact that the scope is does not have adjustable parallax, the parallax is fixed at 100 meters. The mountain that we're looking at is a few miles away. I'm going to repoint it at something a bit higher, and despite that, you still get pretty reasonable. There's good depth of field, so you get pretty reasonable idea what we're pointing at. There's a big cloud over the mountain, which kind of looks interesting. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna get the illumination on. It's bright daylight, so I'm just gonna put it on the highest. It is not the brightest illumination, but it is visible, which is kind of nice. And we'll go back down in magnification. Okay. And this is back on 1 with the illuminated dot. The illumination is not the brightest, but it's perfectly respectable for a glass-edged conventional reticle. And the dot is visible during the day, although it is obviously not nuclear bright. However, since the reticle is nicely visible, the scope is quite fast to use. A more normal low light setting would be right around 4 power, where you get a 6mm exit pupil. So here we are on 4 power. I'm gonna momentarily close the objective, so that gives you kind of an idea of what we're looking at, and we go back down. Okay. All right, let's pan a little bit, looking at some buildings and stuff like that. But once again, there is no gun. This is just an optic pointed at stuff. I am going to go on 1 power and pan a little bit so you get an idea of what we're dealing with. The scope does have good optical quality, and panning with it was actually pretty reasonable. It was not bad at all. And let's go up in magnification a little bit. 4, 8. Let's find a tree we can look at. And how about that? That's what I was looking at. That is fairly far away. This is beyond 100 yards. The tree is a couple of 100 yards from us, and the mountains are quite far away. And even on 8 power, you still have surprisingly decent depth of field. Overall, very competent design, and it's surprisingly quick on 1 power. I found the scope to be pretty easy to get behind. We're now back on 5 power. And let's cycle through the illumination with the cap closed. Illumination of 1 off, 2 off, 3, off, 4, off, 5, off, 6. I've got the camera gain set up on something ridiculously low. So we are going to go on auto mode. That's visible, 500. Okay, so now I switched the ISO to 800 so that you would actually be able to see the dot. And we're gonna go from brightest to dimmest. Off, 6, off, 5, off, 3, off 2, off 1, and off completely. So on low light levels, illumination goes very far down. We're now on the lowest level. I'm gonna see if my camera can even go to an ISO setting that's high enough to see that. So ISO 6400. We're completely flooded with light outside the camera. I still don't see the dot. So on low light is not gonna destroy your night vision. Now I'm setting 2. You can kind of see it a little bit. Overall, for what it is, the illumination setting is worked out pretty nicely. I really can't complain. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. And if you have any questions about the scope or this reticle, do let me know.